everyone, Richard Carlton. Welcome to another awesome day of FileMaker training. I'm here with the awesome training team at fmtrain.tv. fmtrain.tv is your destination for awesome FileMaker training. If you're looking for on-demand training, it's awesome. That's where you have pre-recorded videos that are animated. If you're looking for live interaction with humans, not Google robots. Hello, how can I help you today? Would you like to yes, Margaret? Would you like to order a hamburger today? No. We have real humans. We have real humans. So I'm going to press the button real quick. If you go to fmtrain.tv, it's a really wonderful little web page right here. You can see that we have live training right here and a cat. We have live training here. We also have FileMaker training courses. We don't sell the courses individually anymore. We do them as a bundle. That way you get everything for the year. And that's a really great way to support the channel. So if you're interested in supporting the channel, press the bundle button right here, come down and purchase one of the bundles. We spend a lot of time and money every day putting this production together. It's a lot of effort. And so like, how do you reward Christian Schmidt for making solving problems for you? You buy the Monkey Bread plugin. How do you reward Richard Carlton and keep them with the power turned on, the lights on, everything going? You buy one of the training bundles here, right? There's a difference in the bundles, but this is one of the ones we really appreciate it. A lot of the people here that are watching us on Discord have the bundle. If you don't, if it's expired, definitely think about spending a couple bucks and supporting the channel. Upcoming live training button right here is showing you the free training that's coming up. Today we have day 3 with fmWorkMate, and that is with Mr. Russell Watson. So that's exciting. Tomorrow is Stump the Monkey. So tomorrow is Christian Schmidt will be here, and the goal is to try to ask, you have a problem in the FileMaker platform, you're trying to like solve some sort of integration problem, like I need a PDF that can check with the DMV to get the driver's records of a person and get their photo and then put it on the computer and then do this and do that and then output it to a Lotus Notes 123 spreadsheet. Can you do that? And so the goal is to try to stump Christian Schmidt with some sort of like crazy question. It can't be stupid questions that obviously are dumb like the one I just gave you, because clearly Lotus Notes doesn't have a dominant market share anymore. But if you get the idea, if you have a question, ask him. Odds are you're going to get an answer that solves your problem. So that's Friday next week. Monday, kind of a basic to intermediate day. Magnetic cards scanning. You can scan credit cards. We're not really going to be talking about that so much because really the emphasis these days on chip readers, and the chip reader technology is really not available directly into FileMaker at the moment, at least not that I've been made aware of. If you have a product that does that, feel free to let us know. And then, of course, so what we'll be doing is looking at driver's licenses and things like that. So a driver's license has data on the back. It's generally the same data that's printed on the front. And if you want to learn how to read someone's secret driving record, that information is also on the back secretly. Shh, don't tell anyone. And we will be able to find out about who they are and what they are and all the latest crimes they've committed with our special training. So that's Monday. So be here if you want to know about secret stuff. And then Tuesday, we've got Leland Long coming up. That'll be exciting. He will be performing on some JavaScript optimization, doing things in JavaScript because FileMaker wasn't fast enough to do it. So using the right tool for the right job. If you're trying to kill a fly in the house, don't use a hammer. Or a low-yield nuclear weapon, you want to use a fly swatter. Sometimes using something besides FileMaker is the correct answer. We're going to get this going. There's some pretty serious tips and tricks that are going on in here. I want to welcome someone from over here. We need to see some, I guess we can show Christian first. So Christian, are you there? There's Christian. So,
I'm here.
So Christian, tell us about, what are we doing today and who are you here with?
Well, I'm back with Russell Watson, or Mr. Watson, from Germany, Englishman in Germany. And today I'm actually going to learn a little bit. I believe there were 2 solutions that he was hoping to walk us through. One of them, I believe the second, was this syntax analyzer. But I'm actually curious, I think, as the audience, to see where we go. And I'm actually really excited. The end of our last session, things really started to heat up, and I think we were learning some of the efficiencies of these tools. So, like our audience, I'm actually antsy at the bits to see what we're going to learn today.
Oh, there he goes. He turned on his camera. Awesome. There he is. Welcome, Mr. Watson. That's awesome.
Testing, testing. Can you hear me?
It's not too bad. Try count.
It's all
Do
right.
a little bit more. Count some more. Say something
Well,
else.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Here I am. I'm afraid since last time we've changed the clocks here in Germany, and so I thought I had another hour to get ready. And thank goodness Christian Schmitz has my telephone number. He sent me an SMS to say, "Hey, get your down here." So here I am. I'm here, and I'm ready to roll. And if everything's working and you can hear me, I'm ready to fire up my machine and show you what I'm going to show you today, which is, we shall see what comes out of my sleeve today, because as I just said, I didn't get my preparation time today because the summertime just stole it.
All right, good. Well, you're all set to go. You're good.
Good. Then I will start sharing. Quick summary of what we did last week. Last week we did day 2, and we did some fmWorkMate and fmCheckMate, a little bit of fmCheckMate-XSLT, and one of the things that I tried to do, which didn't work, was can I create default fields? And that kind of like didn't work all horribly last week. And I've now worked out how to get it working and what the problem was. So I would like to quickly finish that off and show you that first. So while the jingle's getting transferred, last week we were here. We had this file, and I wanted to show you how to make some default fields by simply copying some fields.
Okay.
This is me. This is some fields. I want to set these fields as my default fields. So what I did last week, we'll see if we can do it this week. I'm going to copy these fields. Copy, okay. I'm then going to go to fmWorkMate and into fmCheckMate, which I can do by clicking here or pressing Command 2. I can then convert that to XML, which I can do by clicking here or pressing Command 2. Which is quite nice. Command 2, and you're there. I'm then going to transform these fields. Okay, that's a good sign. That's a good sign that I think I have downloaded the newest versions, because since last week I have improved fmCheckMate so that it recognizes when you are creating default fields and automatically saves the file. Wait up. It's like, it's being built. So at the minute, it's loading all of the transformations. And here we see it's sorted in the order that I have last used my transformations. And at the top is create default fields for FileMaker 19. So I'm now just going to press this button. And okay. So it hasn't saved it. It has generated the code, but it's apparently not the newest version. That's probably because, we're working with my downloaded and installed version and not with my dev version. My dev version would have saved this now. So we're going to do it manually like we did last week without making the mistake. Okay, I'm going to copy this text, and then I'm going to go back into fmWorkMate. And down here, we've got a little tool, kill default fields. And this kill default fields file, is it going to open somewhere? It's going to open, okay. I'll introduce you to FM Launchpad later. And once again, open kill default fields. Come on. Up. Okay. Here's the kill default fields. It can't find this file. That's interesting. And because it can't find the file, it's because it's not there. Okay, 1 second. If you kill the default fields, then it will write an empty file. Yeah, okay, there's the empty file. And what I did last time is I opened this file by double-clicking. Okay, here's the file. And I pasted the fields in, and then I saved, with Command S, I saved the file, and that saved it into the standard place. However, what I didn't realize last week is that the editor, because it started with an empty file, the editor didn't know what encoding to use. And I think what we do now, if we do a little save as, we will see that was the problem. The problem is that last week it saved the file in UTF-16. So I only need to change that and say, no, save my text in UTF-8. This will all get easier with the new version. Okay, but basically what we've done now, we've copied our fields that we want to turn into default fields. We've converted it into the default fields XML, and we've saved it to the right place. Saving it to the right place will get easier. So what we now need to do is restart. Which FileMaker were we using? I think we were in this one. Okay, we're in this one. So we're going to quit this FileMaker. We're using this FileMaker here. We're going to start it again. And we're going to ignore this little launchpad. I will introduce that in a few weeks. And now I'm going to create a new file. It's all a little bit more complicated here because I've got too many versions of FileMaker, which confuses things. I'm going to make a blank file. I'm going to save it here as a new file. And there it is. But it has created exactly the fields that I copied. So simply by copying fields, converting them with fmCheckMate, running a transformation of them, and saving the file to the right place, ping, in a few clicks, you've got exactly the fields you want. And if you look in here, you can see this is a text field with auto enter data, and this is a text field with an auto enter calculation with 1 plus 2, and calculations and numbers. So it all works.
Christian,
the next question,
Christian, do we have questions along the way? Do you have a question along the way? Christian Olson?
I don't see any questions yet. This was actually my question, and I'm personally happy that you set us up to do this because I've wanted this tool. But I do want to remind people, if you have questions, throw them out so that I can field them over to Mr. Watson.
Okay, well, what we're going to do now is another question was, what about container fields? And yeah, I found that really quite interesting. So I had a little look at container fields. Here we've got a container field, and yeah, if we do the same here, we'll copy these fields. Yeah, I've tidied them up a bit. It's auto enter instead of auto zenter and container. I'm going to copy these fields, and we're going to do the same in fmWorkMate with command 2, command P for transfer, and return, because the create default fields here is already selected. So I press return. Okay, there is my text. I'll copy the text. I will go into my file. I will update my file, and there is a container field.
And Russell, real quick, is there any reason that this specific thing won't work on Windows?
Good news, it will. fmWorkMate and fmCheckMate does work on Windows. However, the version that works on Windows is an old runtime version from quite a long time ago. So it's not the current version of fmWorkMate, which works. But if we go into, where do we want to go here? I want to go into my repository view. No, find a repository. fmWorkMate. Here. Since last week, I have got round to uploading the old zip file that I had, the fmWorkMate win. So if you download this this repository, which at the minute there's no releases, so you can do it over the download zip. If you click here, download zip, you get a zip containing all these files. When you unpack that, you get these files, which includes another zip. And if you unpack that zip, you then get the Windows version of the fmWorkMate, which is a runtime version, which has got the old plugins built in with a plugin license. And that you can put on a Windows machine, and it has some of the functionality of fmWorkMate, but not all the newest stuff. Maybe we can look at that by the end of the session. We'll see if we get round to that. Back to here. Here we've got new fields with a container in it. If I'll just check that it's, yep, that's in UTF-8, so that's good. So we're going to create a new file. We call it test2 or the likes or something like that. New file with container. Misspelled, but it doesn't matter. Okay, and there you go. You see you've got a container. So works with containers as well. One last thought was, well, can I make a container with a predefined image in it? And it occurred to me, hold on a second, look here. Look here, I've got a container, and in this container, I've thrown my logo, yeah? I've then, so that's this field here. This field here has got my container in it, my logo in it. I've then made a B64 field, which calculates the base 64 encoded value of that container. So in other words, this here is that image in base 64. And then I thought, well, can I make a field with that base 64 hard-coded in the field, so that I can then copy this field and I get a field which has already got an image in it. There was one problem with that, and that is that when I tried to, look here, if I duplicate this field and say this is going to be my new field with predefined image, yeah? What I'm going to do is, instead of the field B64 here, I'm going to insert this this text. And the problem is that when you try and do that, okay, there's the quotes, and when I do my paste, the calculation editor gives you this error to say, no, sorry, you can't put more than 30,000 characters in into a calculation. So no, with FileMaker you can't do it. However, if I copy this field and go back to fmWorkMate and back to fmWorkMate, and I convert that field to XML, I can do the same here. Yeah, so here in the XML, I can change the B64 reference to in fact, I can just, let me just copy this lot here. No, let's do it properly. I can then copy this big code, big hex code. I can insert it here. So I've now got the XML looking like I want to have it. I can convert that back to FileMaker. And if I'm lucky, I can go into the database definition. I can paste it in. And here, okay, it's pasted in with a 2 because that field was already there, but it's pasted it in. And if I now get this new field and throw it on here, you can see it's got my image in it. So in other words, it is possible to make a calculation field with an embedded image in base 64, which is bigger than 30,000 characters, and you do it by using XML to create a field which has got an overlarge calculation, and that you can paste back in and it works. So
that's really interesting, Russell. What we do have someone on YouTube wanting to know in regards to the default container fields, can you also define the storage attribution? I see a challenge with that, but the Ed Bradley in YouTube was asking that.
Let's have a look. I've not. Yeah. Okay. So here, you mean something like that, or something like A/B/C? Okay. So that is our storage. Let's copy these fields. So hold on. Copy those fields. Yeah. Go on, move them around. Yeah. Very good. Okay, I've copied the fields. I'm going into fmCheckMate. I've converted it. I'm going to transform it. I want my default fields. Copy the text. I go back to my file. You don't have to use fmkill default fields to edit your file. You just keep it open in your editor if you want. Okay, that's changed our default fields. Then we can quit FileMaker. It was the dev one that we were using, wasn't it? Start FileMaker again. Forget FM Launchpad. I don't want that for the minute. And we want to then do a new file. Well, as far as I know, there were teething troubles when they first brought out this default field functionality with various field types not working with container storage. So here we now have a container field with special kind of storage, and look, there it is, external open. Everything's come in exactly as it's been defined. So as far as I can tell, and take this stuff away, all of this stuff is in the fmWorkMate and the fmCheckMate-XSLT library. It's all in there. You just have to try it out. So do what I've done, get the fields that you want in your file. Test it out first, please. Yeah, make sure that the fields are coming across you want. I haven't tested every kind of fields. I've never done this before, but as far as I know, the XML that the new format since FileMaker 19 uses is identical to the format that my transformation makes. So.
Something I think you said last week that people should keep in mind with these text editor tools that you're giving us, Edit the XML, they're incredibly powerful, but they do let you break things. So when you use these tools, it's really important that you test and make sure that everything's working correctly, because they're great to use, but a mistype can cause you some issues. Yeah.
But it's it's like we're developers. It's our job to kind of like break things. It's like we break, our databases using FileMaker native functionality. It's just we're going to extend that possibility a little bit with the fmCheckMate and XSLT. Okay, so that was part one. I just wanted to show you that it is possible with my tools and with the fmCheckMate XSLT to transform one kind of FileMaker clipboard object to something completely different. And that's one of the amazing things about the fmCheckMate-XSLT library. And with that, we're kind of like half an hour into the session today. I'd like to move on and talk a little bit about what we wanted to talk about last week, and that's bug off, turning your bugs off.
We're going to do that in 1 second.
Bugs. Yep.
We're going to do it 1 second. Yep. We're going to ask, Christian had a question here from Oregon Dean last week. So Christian, now would be a good time probably to kick this one over. Oregon Dean had a question last week about, did we answer the question last week about how to change the global default field values on a server file without having to re-upload? So that's a pretty straightforward question. You can't, we're not talking about what you're doing here. We're talking about the values that are already saved on the server, right? On the file. in the global values. And so that there is no way to change that. That's why in any of our solutions that we build, especially starting point, things like that, if we have globals that we depend upon in some way or that we need, we always set those as part of the startup script. So it doesn't matter what the values were that was saved with. The startup script sets those as part of that process. That cannot be structurally changed. That's a fundamental of the current FileMaker interior design, I would say. So, all right. Did that answer Christian Olson? That was from Oregon Dean. Oregon Dean, we have any other questions on that end of stuff?
Oregon Dean says thank you.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry about that. But yeah, it's actually a certification question. I don't know if it's on the current test or not, but it has been before. And that is, what happens with that? How do you fix it? And there's no workaround for that. The workaround is just to, if you're really upset that the globals are in there in a certain way, then you have to dehost it and change it. But more specifically, I would just always adjust those as part of the startup script for each individual user. Okay, so all right, cool. Back to so what are we doing? We're doing bug off.
Yeah, I thought the focus that I wanted to look at today was moving code around, and making sure you don't break things. So it's like where I'm heading to is towards this scenario here. Slicing up the FileMaker layer cake. I showed it last week. Okay, this is what I'm kind of like heading towards, is that when you've kind of like got one database, whether it's your production database or a delivered database, which is at a customer's, and in the meantime, you've upgraded your software, and you can't do a complete new delivery of the new version of your software, and so you want to patch something. As you can see here in this little image, the patches, like we got some table or field stuff to move, we got some custom functions to move, we got some scripts to move, and we got some layout stuff to move. Very often, kind of like when you add a module to a existing solution, you've got all kinds of stuff, and value lists and this and that and the other, and lots of things can break. I'd like to look at what help does FileMaker give us when we break things, when we paste things into solutions? Where does FileMaker help us? Where doesn't it help us? And how can my tools really help us catch errors that you make when you paste things in? Okay, that's the focus of the rest of the session today. And I'm going to start off I think by, this is the file that I showed in week one, the developer list that I got out of the Wolfpack add-on box, and then I've extended it with this FM script workspace functionality, so that you've got a button you can click which jumps to exactly the place in the script that you want to fix. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take this functionality and I'm going to slap it into a new file and break things as we go and see how FileMaker can help us and how it doesn't help us, and how we improve this experience. So I'm going to just make a completely new file. Blank, and I'm going to call it target DB. Okay, so this is the database that I want to move this new functionality into. Look, it's made our default fields, which I'm now going to kill because I don't want them. And maybe before we do anything else, I will. It's the look at that, the kill default. They're here. Kill default fields. We're going to get rid of the default fields because we don't want them. It will quit again. Start this up again, and go back into. It didn't remember that new file. Okay, into the target database. So this is the target database, where was it? And which was the file? No, missed it. It was in Where did that file go? Here. Yeah, here. Okay. So this is our source file, and this is our destination file. Now, there's good rules about which order to do things in. I think you've probably covered it in other sessions. There is a Geist interactive blog on what order should you paste things in, because scripts reference layouts,
Yes.
script reference tables.
Yes.
So you basically want to do it in, hold on, in kind of like this kind of order. First of all, you want to create your external file references, then your custom functions, and then your database fields and relationships. If you've got custom functions which reference fields, then you might need to correct some of your custom functions. Then you want to create your layout, your empty layout shells. Create empty layout shells, and then you can start putting scripts in, because scripts reference the layouts but not the objects in them. So once you've got your layout, just empty layouts created, then you can create your scripts. The schema is there, as well as value lists. Value lists also come in this same custom function. F area is value lists as well, because the value lists only reference the schema. Then you can paste your scripts in, and then once you've got scripts and custom functions and schema and value lists, and all the accounts and themes need to come for layouts, then you can start doing your layout content, which is a big green area down here. So that's kind of order that you want to do things in if you want to paste things in and not break them. I'm going to do exactly the opposite. I'm going to go into the scripts, and I'm just going to say these are the scripts that I want in my file here, and I'm just going to paste them all in here. And you can't see that anything's gone wrong. Yeah, the very last script that got pasted in is the only one that we can see afterwards, and here there's no errors. So all of the other errors which have occurred, various things have broken here. That's been commented out. The only help that FileMaker offers is this check for problems. And the other thing which FileMaker does is generate next to this file, which is in my day 3 folder. Where are we? Where did I put it? Can anybody see where I put this file? Yeah, here. There. FileMaker has created this import log file. The import log file has got the date today. Here we are on the 4th of the 11th, and it's got some timestamps, and it's got some stuff, and it's telling me, and what, okay, it says script steps imported, but can anybody read that? Can anybody see if an error has occurred? No, I can't see anything. That's like, horrible. And so we're going to immediately unpack the next tool in fmWorkMate, and that is the fantastic FM Log Analyzer. FM Log Analyzer, you choose your log file. If you work on hosted files, you just click server log and it's ready to go. If you're working on a local file, you click choose, and you go and find that place. I've forgotten again where we've ended up doing all this stuff. That was in number 1, wasn't it, down here? Okay, and we open that log file, and FM Log Analyzer imports it, jiggles it around a bit, and makes it really easy to see what's going on. Each line where we've got an error number gets an error flag, and it's like really easy to see what's going on.
Actually, I really like this right here. In fact, this probably ought to be a whole hour just in itself, right?
It should.
Because this is a big deal. Christian?
This is a huge deal because the import log file is the best thing that FileMaker has ever done for quality assurance. It is really the best thing that they do to help you find your mistakes. It then is completely underplayed. You know, they don't talk about it. Nobody focuses on it. It's just in the background, collecting all this information.
Well, you know, Russell, I've done a lot of these tricks that you shop in terms of like editing the XML, copying and pasting it, but I've never even thought myself to look in the import log. I just have to deduce in my head where I would go and find the issues or click through the scripts, and to have more or less this checklist that shows you where to look is great. I'll have a question, but I want you to continue for now. I don't want to distract you.
Well, I do have one question. I was looking away at the screen. I was answering questions on Twitch or something, and what did he do that generated that import log? Was it a copy paste, or what process did he do in FileMaker?
No, the import log, every time you paste into FileMaker. So hold on, I'm going to go back to this is the FileMaker we're working in. It's got a silly picture and a name. Everything you do here, it's like if I take all these again and I just copy them and I paste them in again, it's like they've all been pasted in. They've all got the number 2 here after them because they're already in there.
For what it's worth, I have been doing this for a long time. I knew that the import log would do an import log when you imported records, but when you actually copy paste random stuff, I'm surprised by this.
So look here, so I've just done this paste, and if we go back, if we look in here, look in the console, we'll now see whoa, it's all this stuff down here. So there's lots of entries now saying this script was imported as blah 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 number 2, since the script name blah blah already exists. So there's lots of lines, and if you notice, this renaming of scripts isn't an error. Here we've got an error of 0. So in the import log, it's not even an error. And FM log analyzer here, if I do a reload log file, you'll see, hold on here, look here. FM log analyzer parses the text here and recognizes that a script has been renamed, and although there is a no error, it's marked as a warning. Kind of like brown is a warning and red is an error.
Okay.
So if you paste a script in, it's already there. Paste a table in, it's already there. Paste a field in, and it's already there. Paste a custom function in, question mark, and it's already there. You get a warning, and that's really visible in FM log analyzer and completely not visible in FileMaker alone. One of the biggest problems in this area is when you no, that's a slightly different problem. When you paste a script into a file, and because the script you're pasting in is like a navigation script which hops to different files, and you've copied it out of your main file and you paste it into another file, and it's got a self-reference. It's like you paste it into file B, and somewhere in the script it says, perform the navigation script in file B, and that automatically creates a external file reference to the same file. It's like a self-reference. And when you get those things in your database, you then accidentally start using it if you don't recognize it. And at some point you recognize, I've got a reference to myself in this external file references, and then you have to go through all of your scripts to get rid of it. And FM log analyzer lets you know and tells you, hey, yeah, so FM log analyzer is great. Yeah, and we've got a couple of buttons up here to help. You know what? I think what I'm going to do.
I'll interrupt you, but I do have a question for you, and I want you to actually really walk us through all the features on here, because, like Richard said, I think you could easily spend an hour. Obviously, you're showing us a log file right now. I asked our head of IT, Jacob Taylor, to come to today's session because I told him this app is really cool. Do you know if this would work on a recovery log or not so much?
Yes. It's not on every single kind of log. Let's have a look. Are they called recovery? Name matches recovery. Or is it just recovery.log?
Yeah, it's just recovery dot, yeah.
Recovery.log. I don't know if I've got any lying around on my machine anywhere. No. Yes, some of the logs are similar.
Oh, real quick, it's recover.log, so there's no Y.
And some of the logs are similar, and
Okay,
a recovery log, I think you can also pack in here, and it works
recover,
as well.
no Y. It's recover.
So if it,
log.
Oh, did I mistype?
Well, no one caught it except Jacob. Get a bigger.
Look, advent of code. My little advent of code thing. Let's have a look at that. Does that have anything? Yeah, look at that. So recovery logs. There we can see it started a consistency check, page 183, marked free, but not in free list. So yes, it works. And you see here, we've got the time, we've got the file that it occurred to, and the error number and the text. So yes, it works. Now, not so useful here for recovery. And the biggest thing is, you look here, you've got this big button at the bottom. You've got this big button at the bottom, which is red when you've got issues and green when you've got no issues. And if you click it, it just lists the issues that you've got. But I want to go back. We'll leave the recovery logs for a minute. Let's go back to the.
Yeah, sorry about that, Russell. Continue.
No, that's right. It's a very valid question, and it's very useful as well, because recovery logs in the console have got exactly the same problem.
All right, so officially for everyone, if you only get one thing from Russell Watson that you find valuable from this broadcast, the FM log analyzer, I think, is the one.
Yeah.
I think.
So several of my colleagues and friends who know me and know my tools swear by FM log analyzer, and they say to all of their developers, it's an absolute must. You must use this tool because it is the only way to catch all the things you break when you shift.
Okay, so let me ask a dumb question for everyone who's probably wondering this. If we want the log analyzer, how do we find it? How do we get it? It's part of a bigger package.
It's when you download fmWorkMate, it's the tool 3, command 3.
Okay, so it's part.
I'll post the
it's
GitHub.
Part of fmWorkMate.
Part of fmWorkMate. fmWorkMate is a name. That's like the Creative Suite, the Adobe Creative Suite, right? This is the Russell Watson Creative Suite of products called fmWorkMate. Got it. Right.
Yeah, that's basically what I had. It's like, I think I started with this FM database analyzer. That was the first thing that I started with, and then at some point I started playing with the clipboard, and that turned into fmCheckMate, and then I built this FM log analyzer as a wrapper around the import log, and it just developed, and I packed some things into there. And FM syntax colorizer, for example, was in fmWorkMate, but it then became its own thing, and is now developed as a separate separate tool. However, I can mention this. This is also useful. Some of these tools are separate GitHub packages. But if you place all of the tools next to each other, so if we go into my applications and find fmWorkMate, so this is my fmWorkMate folder, and next to it, I've got another FM Launchpad next to it, which is not so important, but I should have a FM syntax. Okay, I don't. In this case, I think I've got an FM syntax colorizer. Okay. In this version, I've got an FM syntax colorizer. I just put it in the fmWorkMate folder. but you can also make an FM syntax colorizer folder next to it, or copy your FM syntax colorizer folder so it's next to the fmWorkMate folder, and fmWorkMate will look over the folders and find it. So I think in here I've also got an FM.
Canberra says, I must have installed setup fmWorkMate incorrectly. I get error 100 while opening fmlog analyzer.
Interesting.
And we also have your favorite question from David Angel. Will this work on Windows? Which I assume that this one would.
Yes, yeah. Basically, fmCheckMate, fmlog analyzer work on Windows. Let me have a little quick look. I can just buzz off to a computer here somewhere. Okay, what we're seeing here is a Windows box with an old fmWorkMate runtime on it. Is that a FileMaker 11 runtime? Oh my God, it could be. It could be a FileMaker 11 runtime. And this is the old version, which you can download from that GitHub fmWorkMate archive repository. And then when you download it and unpack it twice, you get this thing. And as you see here, it's got the basic tools of fmCheckMate. Down here, it's a little bit more basic, but it's got the transform button. And so if you have on this computer also put the is that working, or is that going to die? I don't know. If you've put the fmCheckMate-XSLT in your documents folder, and there it is, look. I've got fmCheckMate in the documents folder on this Windows machine, and yeah, look there. Excuse me, 1 second. If I click all, yep, there they all are. So you can use fmCheckMate and the fmCheckMate-XSLT library on a Windows machine. If you need to use some of the more modern stuff, you can also do this. You can, basically, you copy your fields from the Windows machine, you convert it to XML, you come back to your local Mac machine, you convert the XML back to fields, and then you can use all of the modern fmCheckMate stuff, new transformations. You can use everything here. And when you're finished, you just, copy the XML, go back to the file, to the Windows machine, convert that. Okay, that didn't work for some reason. Convert that back to objects on the Windows clipboard, and then paste it into the remote machine. So you can use the new fmWorkMate, fmCheckMate by sending your code back across the ether to your local machine. So yes, it's not only a Mac-only club. I use this combination of a modern fmCheckMate on my works computer and one of these old fmCheckMates on customers' computers to do exactly that, to transfer code, which I've written in our master database. I've written something here, I've tested it, I've used the FM syntax colorizing to make sure all the variable names are correct. I've caught all my errors with FM log analyzer, and then I copy the code from here, I convert it to XML. I press the button on the remote machine, that converts the XML. The XML is text, so it goes across the ether in the clipboard. The remote fmCheckMate converts it back to objects, and I paste it into the remote Windows database. Having done that, I then open FM log analyzer on the remote machine, choose the server log or whichever log I'm using. Look here, I've done some work on this machine on hosted files, and so my server log has some stuff. And then what you then do is, and that's the fantastic thing about FM Log Analyzer, is it converts your breakages into a to-do list. So as you see, not a lot has changed since 1980 or whenever I wrote this stuff. We've got the same kind of buttons at the top. And what you can do is when you paste something into FileMaker, it makes one new little section. And this button here, Show Last Import, shows the last thing that you did. And down here, you get a big green button if there was no errors. So you paste something in, reload the log file, show the last import. If it's green, nothing broke.
Very cool. Very cool. Very cool.
If you've just pasted 10 things in, you then say show last issue. An unknown error. This happens when you paste between different versions of FileMaker. Maybe you're copying out from FileMaker 19 and pasting into FileMaker 16. Then there are some attributes that FileMaker 16 doesn't know, and it highlights an unknown error or an unknown attribute, and you can just say issue is okay. When you say issue is okay, it adds a little checkbox over the back here to say, okay, finished, done. And then you say, okay, show me the next last issue. Oh, fields referred to in the calculation function missing is missing. And that's in this script. Yeah. So it's in the app server email file. It's in this script. Great. Then there's some basic functionality here. I can say copy, little pair of scissors, copy the name of the script. And then you can open up your file, open up your script, and go to the script. You can copy the line number. I think back in those days that I created this one, there was the so I don't know, I'm getting confused here. There was the MBS go to line function, so you can copy the line number and then spring to the line and then correct the error. Once you've corrected the error, sorry, wrong one. You either press OK or just press the issue is OK, and that's it. You can say show all issues. Okay, we've got no more issues, so we know I'm finished. I've worked off all of the errors that I've created, and I'm done. And this is revolutionary for how you go about moving your code. We started, hold on one second, I want to get back to my main computer. Where's my main computer? Here, back to my main computer. We started with this, oops, there you go, wait, with this thing here. We started with this thing here and saying, okay, when you transfer code with this, there's this order of doing things where you can avoid breaking things, which if you can work it out, if you know, okay, for this module that I'm transferring, I know what file references, what custom functions, what fields it uses. It's only small. I can see what it is. I can see it's got, one layout and 4 scripts, a new table and 3 changed fields. I can see that. And so I know, okay, I start with the fields or with the custom functions. I do the custom, and you know what order to do it in. And there's other situations where what you've got to transfer to the other file is so huge and complicated, and maybe it's going over multiple files, calling a script over there and coming back to here, and just to work out what you've got to transfer is a nightmare. And you'll spend a week just working out, what's the first thing I need to transfer? And in this situation, you say, I don't care. I'm just going to take the scripts, or the tables. Yeah, I think I know the tables. I'm going to throw these fields across, and you copy and you paste the fields in, and then you just go to FM Log Analyzer, and FM Log Analyzer lists what broke. You have your to-do list, and you work through your to-do list and say, this field uses a custom function, or this field uses another field. I forgot to paste that other field. So I'll go and get that other field, I'll paste that field in, and then I'll correct the broken field, and then I can tick that off in FM Log Analyzer. You tick it off, and then you see, oh, this new field that I pasted in, that uses a custom function that I forgot.
Yeah.
And so the FM Log Analyzer doesn't ignore import log like FileMaker and the rest of the world does. It turns it into a to-do list. It's fantastic. It completely changes how you can go about transferring code to another environment.
Well, the code modularity is an important part of the FileMaker platform. It's something that needs to be improved, clearly. So, well, Christian Olson, are you there? Christian Olson.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
I just had to find my mute button.
Good. Well, this is great. I love this stuff. I think there's, obviously the Windows part of it. He's not really a Windows guy, and it's kind of a free product, so there's only so much you're going to get for the people who want Windows, right? So, but yeah, I think having the punch list is really, really useful, and having the log reviewed frankly, in a more coherent way. You could also do searches against this because you're in FileMaker, instead of a text file.
Yep. Yeah.
No, I love this because the first time I ever kind of moved code duplicating a module and starting point to turn invoices into purchase orders, I'll admit I literally just clicked through the script folder that I duplicated to look for red text in the script that was an error. And then similarly going through the layouts, it was significantly more arduous and easy to miss something than having, as Russell puts it here, a checklist that says, here, this is what you got to go fix. I love this.
Now, there's a few things you need to know about what does the import log cover and what does it not cover. So one of the things that you need to know is it doesn't do custom functions properly. So if we go into custom functions here, I've got some shortcut keys which I use on my machine. And I tend to just press my shortcut key and pop, we end up in the custom functions dialog. Please tell me if that's confusing and you prefer me to use the mouse. But basically, I've just come into the custom functions module here. So here, look, we've got some custom functions. If I just, let's have a look. Let's find something which references another custom function. And we've got a custom function which uses another one. No, let's make one. Look here. We're going to make a new custom function called break me, and it's going to run this desktop. Okay, that's just going to run desktop. In other words, break me is a custom function which needs the desktop custom function. Now, if I copy this, and there's no button to copy, we have to copy it with the menu or with Command C. Okay, so I've copied this custom function. I'm now going to go to my target database, and for you, I'm going to go in via here. There are my little. Okay, I'm now going to paste this in here. Command V. Okay. As you see, it's broken. It's commented out the word desktop. FileMaker didn't recognize desktop. Desktop isn't a native function. Desktop's not a function in the custom function list. Don't know what to do with that. The calculation gets commented out. Now, if we go and look, okay, what did the import log do? We do a reload of the log file. We do show last import, and you'll see, look, it has noticed that I've imported custom functions. It said you've imported one custom function, but it has not logged any errors.
Is that because it's just text, so it's not technically an error?
Yeah, no, it's extremely technically an error. If you do the same thing with a field, yeah, we do the same thing with a field. Let's find a field. Table name. Okay, look here. Here we've got a field, display list fields, and it references the field. If we sort, it references this field here, table name. Yeah, there's table name. Okay, so here's a field with the same kind of dependency. If I copy this field, and then go over to my target database, and I paste that field in here, you see here, okay, exactly the same thing has happened. The only text calculation has been commented out because FileMaker couldn't recognize what's that. It's not a function. Nothing I know. Can't do it. Commented out. If we now go back to fmLog Analyzer and reload and show the last import, here you see, okay, in this case, it's imported fields from the clipboard and it has recognized that there's an error. And it said okay, the information in the log is target DB, that's the name of the database, : display list fields, that's the name of the table maybe? No, it's the name of the field. And that's the error. This field, the calculation was, something was missing. And fmLog Analyzer, if you look down here, fmLog Analyzer does its best to parse out this information. So you've got here the name of the file, you've got here the name of the table, and you've got here the name of the field. Yeah. So fmLog Analyzer is doing some parsing to make it easier to separate the information here. And there's a button here. I don't know, what does this button do? Whoa, yeah, look at that. I think
this is phenomenal, Russell. I mean, one thing I want to, I mentioned this earlier, but next week when you come in, could you maybe put together some ideas on what else to show in FM Log Analyzer here? Because if you look at Discord right now, you'll see people buzzing, and what that is there's interest in learning more of this. But I can also sense that our members, as excited they are by this, they've taken a lot in today, and they probably see the runway in sight. But I would love to maybe do a little bit deeper dive when we meet back up again next week.
Love to. I'd like to show you one more thing.
All right.
One more thing, and that is until about a year ago, that was the entirety of fmLog Analyzer. And every time you pasted something into a database or import, if you did, like, you can import a table, doesn't matter if you paste or you use the import function to bring code into your database. Both of these methods add information to the import log. But in the past, every time you had to, after you pasted something, you had to then open fmLog Analyzer, reload the log file, and sometimes your import log does get rather long if it's been sitting in the background for the last 10 years and you've been working on hosted databases for the last 10 years, then your import log file is massive and will take an age to import. So you might want to move it or delete it before you start working with this thing. And you have to reload, and then it reloads the entire file. And so recently I have added this little baby, the bug off alarm. So let's have a look. When an issue is detected, tell me about it, even when okay, and show me the log file. Okay, that's my options. And basically if I click here, okay, you now see it's blinking, going on and off. That means it's just an on-timer script which every 2 seconds is looking at the size of your import log file. So no, nothing nothing superb. But what I can do now is if I look, I'm going to copy this field and I'm just going to paste it in again. Paste. Look here. Okay. In the background, because I had the whole screen covering. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, bing, 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 bing. Yeah. I'm going to do that again, so it's a bit clearer. I'm going to go down here. Look here. Maybe we're working in fmCheckMate. We've done something, and then we're working here. We've copied some code across from our master onto this machine here, and I paste it in, and ping. fmLog Analyzer opens. It has imported the difference. It remembered the size of the file before. It's seen the new size of the file, and so it's, I can actually show you what it does. Here, look here. It's made a little file, import ~1 log, and if you look at that, it's just the new lines. So it's taken the end of the import log, added it to this, and then just imported this little file as 4 records in here.
I got a question though. I got a question. Something that I'd never really run into. So this thing is running a script every 2 or 3, 4 seconds or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But then you had the open database dialog on another file open. Isn't that modal? Doesn't that stop all the other scripts from running? Or it seems to me that script is still...
Yes. Yeah, you have a point. When I first created this functionality, I still had fmWorkMate as a runtime solution. And so, well, that's the thing. As a runtime solution, it just happened in the background. It was like a completely extra tool. Yeah. And so you're working in FileMaker, you paste something, you break something, and in the background, this appears. And in the past, it also sent you a notification, a user notification. But the user notification functionality has changed in recent, not very recent, but in recent Mac operating systems, and I haven't got around to reprogramming that. The MBS plugin has got new notification functions, and that just needs reprogramming.
Okay, just hold on for a second. You're kind of bouncing all over the place here. So what I'm trying to understand is that this is we're not dealing with any server stuff right now. Are we dealing with server stuff too? Are we dealing with server here?
No. All that's happening here is that my fmLog Analyzer is sitting in the background. I think. Look there it is. It's when you close a tool in fmWorkMate, or at least when you go back to the main fmWorkMate window, the tool isn't closed, it just gets hidden. So it's still open. So there's the fmLog Analyzer in the background, just keeping an eye on your import log file.
Right. But so we're saying that if you have multiple FileMaker files open, and a script is running on one of them, and you open a second file and you go to field definitions, the scripts in the other file are still firing. Because you just showed that. You imported it.
I think if you've got 2 versions of FileMaker, then you've got no problem. I've got multiple versions of FileMaker, so I have my fmWorkMate usually running in this little baby here, and then I'm working.
Okay, yeah. So this right here is about a 15-minute conversation, right? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because I thought that if you were in field definitions or custom functions or some of these, manage areas in FileMaker, that it kind of shuts down your client.
Yeah, no, that is a problem. We're still transitioning from the old runtime solution to using fmWorkMate within FileMaker itself.
And you're doing that by using multiple copies of Pro at the same time.
Yeah, and there are some situations. Where you where you want your fmWorkMate to be in the same FileMaker that you're working in. For example, okay, if we turn this thing off, yes, a on timer script is a pain in the backside to have that running when you're coding, because it interferes with your development environment,
but if it's in a separate copy of FileMaker, it's perfect, right? That's what I'm
if
saying.
it's in a separate copy of FileMaker, it's perfect.
Yes.
However, this button down here
we'll open it in the wrong copy. Opens it in the wrong copy.
Exactly.
Yes.
I believe, hold on, let me just try here.
It's going to open it in the wrong one, almost guaranteed. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. This is just a simple open file button. However, what I plan to do is that thing that I showed you in the first week, fmScript Workspace. fmScript Workspace makes it possible to jump to exactly the line in your script where something goes wrong. And that means that if fmlog analyzer is open in the FileMaker version that you're working with, that when it finds an error, there will be a button down here somewhere that you click and it jumps to exactly the line where there's a breakage in your script. That's like where I'm heading. That's where all this stuff is coming together. The fmScript Workspace module to make this integration possible. The fmlog analyzer, it needs to be in here so that you can not only see that you've made a mistake, but with a click of one button, you are there at the place where it's broken and can fix it within seconds. That's the plan.
Yep. So, so I know that this feels like we're going very backwards with you, but this is like this right here is a major. Once again, most of the people here are not at the Watson level of conversation.
Yeah, that's all right.
And one of the things I've always had issues with, and I guess, we need to re-walk through multiple FM files, open stuff again more slowly. It's not the multiple FM files, it's the multiple FM applications, Oregon Dean, right? It's not the multi-file, it's the multi-app, right? The copy of the FileMaker, because here's the thing. FileMaker is heavily involved in using caches. And it was always a thing back in the day that you ran the risk of the caches running into each other. Apparently, he's running 4 or 5 copies side by side, like you're down here in this bar, so the caches are not running into each other. But, I've never had a problem. There was one version of FileMaker, was it 17 or 18? Where they changed the app a little bit. In the past, we used to only duplicate FileMaker. We can maybe see this here. Here's FileMaker 17. In the past, we used to only duplicate the app. Right.
And it used to work in FileMaker 15, 16. And then with 17 or 18, we then started running into problems that when we duplicated just the app, it was crashing into each other, and we got around it in that we then duplicated the entire folder. Yeah. And that got the problem out of the way.
Except the caches are saved on the shared area on the hard drive. So obviously the guys, the folks, the ladies, the people at Claire's who wrote this thought about this, and they've written it such a way that the apps is looking for the cache specific to it, not to the...
Okay, but that's interesting, Richard. That's a great tip, because I have one problem that I have one problem that I get sometimes, where in one app I see the script menu from another app, which shouldn't be the case, and that might be being caused by what you've just said. Okay.
Yeah, well,
we never ever have problems.
We need to kick this out as an official question. Christian Schmidt, you and Watson, you guys are in ETS. Can you pose the question to them? And Watson or Christian, take the screenshot, because Christian's over here in Discord. I don't know if you can see what he said. He says he's got.
Yeah, I can.
Okay, you can see all that, so everyone can see it too. I've got all these installed, and not only are they installed at the same time, I'm running them at the same time. And I'd like to get an official word from Clay or something before the guy retires that this is not going to light everything on fire, right?
Yeah, that would be good.
Because I'm happy to recommend it, but it's having them all installed at one time is one thing, but having them 3 or 4 of them running at the same time, and some of them are firing scripts behind your back and checking logs and doing this and doing that, it's super powerful. But if the caches for any reason run into each other, it's gonna blow.
Yeah.
They're the dark side of the force.
I've been doing it for a decade, and I've never had noticeable problems. And it's like, every day I do FileMaker stuff. Every day I have multiple FileMaker versions open. It's like at work we have our Advanta is the name of the software we make. We have Advanta, the master version of the database, the development version where we develop. But we've got our own copy of it for the company. And so the company has its distribution version, which we use to manage our company. And that's open in another FileMaker. In that case, one's FileMaker 18, the other's FileMaker 19. We've never had problems. Like the entire development team do the same thing. So
okay, cool. Well, I'm gonna.
Never had problems.
This is pretty awesome. Good job. So we have to. People are complaining that their brains are about to explode. So their brains are getting low on gas here. So I'm going to save this little graphic here because that's a really good one.
Can I give you one very last little thing?
But you said that before. You've already said
Yeah.
You're like Steve Jobs. He won't shut up.
This is point one. This is 1.1. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll see if it works. There are some pasting operations that you can cancel. So I pasted these fields in, and I've decided, oh no, hold on. No, that's wrong. I've done that wrong. I'm going to cancel. I need to, first of all, paste some other fields and some custom functions in. I don't want these broken. I may have just pasted, 122 fields in here. And because I forgot a custom function, 90 of them are broken. So I say, okay, cancel and discard the changes. Now that also writes to the log file, and look here. What it does is it writes import operations cancelled, and fmLog Analyzer sees that and then works backwards and comments out all of these operations so that
you're just showing off. You're just showing off. Yeah, you're just showing off. This is
an error here. This is an error here, but because hold on, if I look here, look here. I think I've got a little Okay, basically, when you paste in script steps, when you paste in fields, and then say, oh no, don't save, then FileMaker puts this in, and fmLog Analyzer recognizes that and ignores any errors which have been cancelled. Very nice. Very nice.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think with that, that's a pretty round kind of finish to the fmLog Analyzer. The very, very last thing I'm going to say, 1.1.1, is the place where FileMaker writes 0 information to the import log is the place that you need it the most. Layouts. Everything you do in a layout gets no feedback, no import log, no help, not even from fmLog Analyzer. It's empty, it's dead, it's a gaping void. And that is really bad because layouts are the most complicated areas of FileMaker solutions. Everything comes together in the layout. You have buttons and scripts and value lists and fields and custom functions and hide Everything is there. It is the most, dangerous place, the most error-prone place in FileMaker. And FileMaker turns its back, doesn't help you at all. I, on the other hand, don't turn my back. And I would say next week, we're going to do layout analysis, which fills that hole in a beautiful way, in a similar way to FM Log Analyzer, and turns the errors in your layouts into a to-do list. We can look forward to that.
That's a great cliffhanger. I like that.
All right.
Yeah.
Very good cliffhanger. Spiegel says awesome stuff. Ed says great job. There's a lot of great content here. Moki's here. Kind of welcome, Moki. I don't know when you dropped in, but this is there. You had an award. You had an award.
Yeah, I have an award. I don't know if you can see it. It's got some fingerprints on it in the meantime. It says FileMaker Magazine Award. FileMaker Magazine is the FileMaker magazine in Germany. Best FileMaker tool 2018 goes to fmWorkMate and Mr. Watson.
Wow.
This is an award-winning tool.
I love that. I love that. It's
like good stuff, people. Please.
It's a major award. If I say it's a major award, does anyone know the movie reference to that one?
No, I don't. Use it, enjoy it, and let's make FileMaker work.
Well, Shigo wants to know how to send you some money. You got a Venmo on your webpage?
There is on my website. Please do. It's like I've been developing this stuff over years, and I think I've made 25 euros and 1 cent, something like that. If you go to fmWorkMate.com, at fmWorkMate.com, look here, on support, there's a donate. We're here on fmWorkMate.com/donate. On the support menu on donate, it comes to here. So it's donations, don't panic. It's not easy to give, I know. Whatever you do, don't press the donate button below, okay? So think about it carefully, guys. I don't know if it works. It doesn't work, as you see here. If you, as MrWatson.de and fmWorkMate.com come to the same place, but the Mr. Watson DE is
okay. To donate money, this is really too complicated. So
just come here and press the button. It's not complicated.
Okay, I thought you said if it doesn't work, use this other domain, but that domain not work.
No. fmWorkMate.com and Mr. Watson DE basically point to the same website, and if you come via Mr. Watson DE, it doesn't work. So come to fmWorkMate.com. Donate.
Oregon Dean wants to know what's the cost of a pint at the brew house.
That's about 24 euros. I don't know. I would say, look, guys, if I say, what is fixing one bug worth?
24 euros for a pint? That sounds really expensive.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to rip you off and get money out of you. Extortion. That's extortion.
I was not going to say that because I didn't want to be crass and stuff, right? I wasn't going to be like, wow, damn, that's expensive.
I mean, maybe it's a really nice brew.
Yeah.
No, but it's like I would say if everybody in the world, it's like everybody just take this stuff away, take it away with you and use it to catch your bugs, catch your mistakes before you make them, catch all of your breakages as you make them before you go any further. Get it all out, get the quality of your databases up, and send me 1 cent, 10 cents per bug that you find. It's like if everybody just sent me 1 cent for each bug. It's like 1 cent. And if I said, it's like it would mount up. These tools will make your FileMaker databases better, and I will I will prove it next week by analyzing FM starter.
There we go. I'll do that. Yes, do that. Absolutely.
And for everybody out there too, it's great when people like Russell and Christian and everyone else get feedback from us. I let Russell know about a bug I had in the FM colorizer tool that I love so much that he fixed after he became aware that it was a thing. So
yeah. I'm really extremely happy. I can't tell you how happy I am to have the opportunity to show you guys these tools, because over the years I've been investing time and interested in getting the tools working, and I've never had the time to promote them. So the more we can promote them, the more people that can use them, the more feedback we can get on it. And it's like everybody is heartily invited to think about improving the code. It's like FileMaker databases, updating code when people have made improvements. We then need to build that stuff into the master version of the things. That's always tricky with FileMaker. But it's like, let's do this together. We are so powerful as a team, and there's great people out there. There's people out there with skills that I don't have. There's people out there who maybe can write an update process. One of the problems with fmWorkMate is that there's no update process in there. So if you put any data into any of the tools, when you do an update of fmWorkMate, all that data disappears. So you need to make sure you save it, do your update, and load it back in again. I've got no automated update process. If somebody wants to has a method of doing nice updates so that we can automate the update process, that would be great.
Cool. All right, I'm going to have to stop us for today. We'll see everyone tomorrow with Monkey Spread. Stump the monkey tomorrow. See ya.
Great. Thanks.
Sir, are you aware that your FileMaker license has expired?
Nah, I just need to get these reports done.